morning to 8:30 to whatever time you are, we're working something about democratization. Now, can somebody help me out understand what do we mean by democratization, right? We spoke about technology democratization, we spoke about, different forms of democratization, right? Now, let's define what's democratization, right? I'll take a pause here, probably a minute. Anybody?
Making the benefit available to all.
Absolutely.
Proliferation.
Yeah, proliferation, right? Now, so when we apply this particular process or thought process onto WFM, right, what would the results be, right? In terms of empowering your people with what? With the knowledge, with the process, doing it with coupled with tools, maybe any tools, right? It can be WFM tools, it can be analytical tools, any tool, right? So you come up with engaging, empowering, and the output of these, when you start investing in people, an output of these is wherein you get the results out of these data points what you work on, right? And once you start working on WFM tools, the terms of outputs what you get, in terms of analytics what you get, taking these analytics, right, over to your partners, maybe internal, maybe external, right? What we call it as a strategic partnerships, right? You develop some kind of relationships which can add value, which can add benefit to organization as such, right? So democratizing is nothing but a process wherein we have involved or we have started to build in our organization, right? And what we do is before we go into the details of what democratization is all about, let's have a short video or AV about results.
Great experiences is about more. It's about the potential to maximize impact enterprise-wide, because let's face it, results matter. So what if you could bring people, processes, and technology together to go beyond operational excellence and power the business outcomes that underpin your growth, accelerating revenue, reducing cost, and elevating experience? Welcome to ResultsCX. We've a proven track record of partnering with global players to identify, deploy, and manage customer journeys that boost business. Over the years, we've been consistently transforming, growing, and building capabilities to serve our customers better. We have been recognized constantly for our game-changing approach. And today, we combine worldwide scale with deep local expertise. We understand your market, speak your language, and enhance your team with over 23,000 strategically placed employees, working across industries to deliver the bespoke outcomes you need. Whether that's delivering empathy-based healthcare support that elevates member experiences, boosting monetization opportunities in your growing tech firm, getting Retail 4.0 ready with seamless customer journeys, pushing BFS boundaries through advanced digitization, meeting ever-evolving customer needs in media, or reshaping telecoms through omnichannel engagements. Because no matter which sector you operate in, we're here for every customer, every journey, every interaction. Applying data-driven insights with a security-first mindset to deliver exceptional business results. Ready to go beyond? Let's dive in.
So here on this particular slide, okay, we are just looking at the components what we concentrated upon within ResultsCX to cultivate or to inculcate the process of democratizing, right? First among them would be addressing challenges, right? Now this is a day-to-day job, right? Which happens probably an RTA does it, probably a scheduler does it, probably a forecaster does it, right? Now, identifying what's the frequency of those challenges, right? Collating data, that's critical for us. Why? To analyze the data. Is it seasonal? Is it erratic? Is it something because of A, B, C reasons? Addressing is critical there, right? The next thing is the cultural transformation, making people accountable for what they do, right? in terms of you are accountable for what your deliverables are, right? Now this can be done either through targeted KPIs or like what you say, you love what you do, right? Kind of a scenario, right? Building that culture across. Then the third thing is the technology is enabler, using respective tools, the tools available within the organization, maybe NICE, maybe Aspect, maybe any other tool which you're using within the organization, right? Use the right kind of tool, get the right kind of output, get the right kind of decision, right? And the last thing is the output of all these, okay, you come up with a decision making, maybe short term, maybe long term, but at the end of the day, as overall, as a holistic picture, right, you start to deal with the flow, right? Now, going further, I think, Imran, if you could help me out to the next.
Thank you so much. All right. So before I start off with this, right, a couple of things that one of the points that, and I was really making points, I love the quotes that the key speaker spoke about. Sanjeev said, we do workforce, but we do not call it workforce. Yeah. Now, for all of us being in the industry for like 10, 15, 20 years plus, again, not trying to carbon date anybody, but what we do is we are so-called guardians of the galaxy. We can call ourselves that. And our galaxy is our KPI. Right? Whenever, yeah, I'll be here. Whenever we say that, whenever anybody looks at it as KPIs, anything to do with staffing comes to workforce management, right? So we are guardians of that. Exact same point, in fact, I was going to date back and give analogy of airlines, but we have already covered that. So I'll talk about pyramids, right? 2,500, 3,000 years back, we had pyramids, BC, it's nearly 5,000 years back, we did have those pyramids that is coming across. Now, did we have WFM then? Maybe yes, because remember, if the pharaoh wanted to make a pyramid, let's say Giza, right, he just calls his architects and says that, hey dude, I want to make a pyramid, maybe in 20 years, what do I need? Now, what the architect says is, he goes to his WFM person, or the person who does the math, and the person says, need 2,000 slaves, because obviously, they used to get slaves at that time. Now, within that, they would also say that I need few people who are tall and strong, few people who can manage, so those are skill sets. WFM is always there, different industry, different words, but it's always there. Now, coming back to this point, we are looking at KPI based contractual agreement. 5,000 years back, it was a pharaoh, it was a pyramid, it was an architect. Now, it's our contracts. Somebody tells us what to do, and we just look at that. And that's the case with everybody. Nobody can deny that. We have derived this as FOV, which is field of view. When we are talking about field of view, we are talking about like how horses are. We are driven by our KPIs. And there's nothing wrong with it. That's a core responsibility, it's a core scope. Nothing wrong with it. What we can do, however, is make it better. Question is how we can make it better. Here it is. We can identify potential benefits, look at latent capacity, a lot of few things that we spoke about in the case study while we were having tech issues, something that we do not look at proactively. We have the data with us. Nobody is telling us not to look at volumes when it's a production hours account. Question is how many of us look at service level? We don't. Even my team doesn't. Till the time we started doing spotlighting, now they are actually looking at it, hence the case studies. But most of us do not. At times we don't have data, but most of the time we do have access to ACDs. We are not looking at that, we are not coming up with creative solutions. We are not trying to do any research on that. And that is where we have to flex ourselves, and a field of view increases from a 40 to a 70. Now, how we got to a 40 to a 70 is by panel of experts that we had in RCX, and we got from 360 degrees, started slicing the pizza up, and that's where we got it. I'll not get into more details, but if anyone wants to really know the methodology, can connect with me or Shri at any point on that. So we'll move ahead with that, and we will talk about the thing that we were talking about, 10 Kadam. So one of the good parts that is there, where did I keep this? So yeah, so there were some nice aspects, or we can say sentiments, which came from that. And I just have one question which is really stands out, and that's the reason why I'm roaming with this. So let's start with how the sentiments is. I know nearly 50% people are gone, but that doesn't stop us from knowing what the sentiments is. Remember, we are from different companies, different areas, maybe different geographies within India, most of it, and one from US. And so in that case, let us just look at how it is and how it connects to ourselves. Yeah. First thing, 65% prefers consistent delivery and risk avoidance. Again, nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with avoiding risk. Nothing wrong with preferring consistent delivery. 36% are dependent on ops recommendation and not explore beyond core KPIs. A lot of people. And that clearly was there in that. 76% people lacks focus on long-term strategic client relations. Now, I know that most of you guys will have a question, how did I derive all this from here? It depends upon the question. We already had those negative, positives, what it is. Again, nothing is negative over here. Everything is positive. If you talk negative, it is an area of opportunity for us. It's never a negative thing, right? We learn. Everybody learns, and we'll keep learning. Let's move on. 53% are inclined towards traditional staffing practices, especially the ones that we are talking about. Oh, let's staff up to everything and just VTO it off. Yeah. And that's very normal. We did it 10 years back, we did it 20 years back, we are doing it now. I mean, let's talk something which is different, yeah, which is sustainable. Just because it has to be different, don't get anything into picture that, let's get this, this is different. No, it has to be sustainable. Yeah. 55% people are overlooking profitable opportunity due to risk of being incorrect. Again, nothing wrong with it. It's just we are playing safe. Irrespective of having tea or a cold drink, we like to and then have it. Again, nothing wrong with it, but there is an opportunity there. Move on. 61% people are foregoing options to offer WFM as a service. Now, for most of the companies, we are actually looking at WFM as a service. Why? Because we want to move away from a cost center. We don't want to be a cost center. We want to make that profits out of it. Yeah, we want to get away from that tag that ops ke P&L mein se nikal raha hai, right? We want to get out of it, and we are pitching for WFM as a service, but there were questions and people have not ticked on that. That means we are really foregoing. We are not looking at each and every turns. Let's make WFM profitable. We are not. So one thing which stood out, and I'm going to just put that across, right? Point number 4. Notify all management that you have been instructed to act against legal contract, and clarify that WFM cannot be held responsible for any escalation. This got nearly 70% ticks. 70%. It means we want to be safe. Apni bachani bas. We want to just be out of that. That okay, we have highlighted it, our job's done. But that's not it. We have to come up with recommendations. Go to the level, just give a recommendation. If it doesn't happen, it's fine. You tried, it's fine. But what is stopping us from making that recommendation? And this is a clear-cut proof. I have got all the papers there. 70%, that's massive. Let's move on. And after this, we have got a video of, it's a AV of what we have done. Again, we are using mixture of Power BI, we are using Copilot. Mostly it is to do with our processes, but we are using those tools to actually get it. Yep, let's start off. It took
analysis for a
few time for our team to make it. So,
it's an analytical initiative we launched last year to identify opportunities for improvement in client programs through 360-degree analysis. Using tools like Microsoft Power BI and Copilot, we've achieved significant results. In one case, we conducted a latent capacity analysis for a healthcare client who experienced low occupancy rates over 3 to 4 consecutive quarters. The client provided volume forecasts and also dictated staffing levels. Our analysis revealed that the client was overestimating the staffing needs by approximately 45 to 50%. This resulted in consistently low occupancy rates. To utilize this latent capacity, we recommended the client to increase their volume allocation to us. This led to our appointment as their sole vendor and boosting revenue. In another case, we conducted an adaptive workforce assessment for a retail client who consistently overstated volume forecasts, with actuals at 60 to 70%. This caused client losses due to a 95% MBG, while we incurred costs from staffing for 100%. We recommended forecasting as a service, incorporating contact rates and order quantity correlations. This improved forecast accuracy, enabling the client to adjust staffing and eliminate unnecessary MBG costs, saving $1.4 million. Our success also led to additional business and growth for our company.
thank you. And let's skip those 2 slides because I've already given this across. This again, I've already given this across. This is the healthcare client that I was talking about earlier. And again, just claiming MBG should not be our goal. Our goal should be in claiming 100% or 105%, whatever the upper limit is, because we as workforce, we always think of it, MBG mila, that's fine. But we are not thinking about it that for getting that MBG of 85% year, but usually for most of account it's 95%. We are keeping staffing up to 110%, we are losing that 15% anyways. So why aren't we looking at that? We are looking at, oh, we got MBG, we are at 100%. We are not at 100%. Most of our programs are scheduled at a lower occupancy because we look at ideal occupancy rate based on our staffing patterns. And while we are looking at that, volumes are higher, it will flex up your occupancy and take those calls. And that is what we are not looking at.
Alrighty. Okay, Brad. So now, so with all these initiatives, how do we go about implementing it, or how do we go about driving within the organization results, right? So what we do is we have different programs within our organizations, like Lead the Way, Light the Way, the L&D approach. Then we have Spotlighting series, then we have Town Hall, right? Now what's Lead the Way, right? Lead the Way is wherein within the organization, each and every CPD, right, he's irrespective of his program alignment, right, he's supposed to be picking up programs, right, aligned to him or aligned to something across the organization, right, and then working with cross-functional teams to come up with projects, right, which may have issues, may have challenges, right, and or to turn it into an optimized programs. That's Lead the Way. Right. Light the Way is more about brainstorming, wherein across the organization, irrespective of the levels, there is a common forum set up wherein the WFM team members can go about posting their ideas for benefiting the organization. It can be benefiting an employee or a program. How best we can capitalize on those suggestions is what Light the Way is all about. The third thing is about L&D. This is often not looked much, right? But it's basically a structured way of getting the right skill to the right people, right? and giving it in a packaged manner, right? You don't want to teach a fish to climb a tree, right? So you need to teach them the right skill, right? So that's all about L&D. But there is another team of our organization who would go about in detail about what L&D is all about, what we have done in L&D. So I don't want to spend much time on L&D section as such. And spotlighting, I think Imran is kind of
alluded to that
too much about spotlighting, and so that's what spotlighting is all about, right? So the last thing is the town hall, right? This happens every month, right, across the WFM team members, wherein whatever we have accomplished through these process, maybe the models which we got from Lead the Way, maybe suggestions from Light the Way, these have been brought up in the town hall, in the business per se, what's this impacting, what's not going right, what's not going down, so on and so forth, is what town hall is all about, right? So these are the couple of things wherein we use in our organization to drive the democratizing or driving that particular accountability across levels.
Yeah.
Thank you. Right.
And I'll just add a bit to it, right? When we are talking about town hall, it could be a very simple situation where people are saying, okay, town hall management comes and gives update. But we did speak about it. Love yourself, yeah? If you love yourself, if you love your people, town hall is a forum for you to tell that you love them, yeah? People want to know that they are loved. And once they know that they are loved, and also people are working towards a common goal, you get togetherness, you get everybody as a family, and people get to know. It's simple, right? I mean, most of us, if married, unmarried, girlfriend, boyfriend, I love you is a very simple word, but people really want to hear it. As the same for our employees, and the same platform is town hall. To put them, tell them that that is there. So that's about it, guys. Do we have time for questions or no? Yeah, we do. Thank you, Shiv. Any questions? Or they just want to go? Ho gaya? Oh yeah.
You going? All right. Hello, I'm audible. So first of all, wonderful presentation, Imran. I really loved it. One question that comes to my mind while you spoke about latent capacity and how you were, looking at optimizing on that, you brought in an element of Microsoft Copilot. Mm-hmm. Right? So how did you blend in that? I was a little curious to understand that story.
Yep. Okay. A lot of things mixed into one, to be very honest. When we talk about Copilot in our head, the first thing is you put in something and it comes across. It's not really a chat GPT. You can connect it to multiple tools. And there is a way, and definitely we can connect, and anybody who wants to know, we can actually put it on a group as well. We can actually use data. We can put the data and tell them to remove the outlier. And that is what we can put in the spotlights. Saying that, I'll give a very simple example. Any management person looks at data on a weekly or a monthly level. Who looks at it on a daily or let's say interval level? Nobody does. Let's say on one single interval, every single week, on a Saturday night at 12 o'clock, my ASA is going to 300 seconds. Who has seen it? It gets camouflaged within your data sets. This is a platform where we can actually put it. It will show us the outlier, and that is where we can help. Did I answer your question? Okay. Thank you. Any more? We love questions. Okay, if not, then we have the next set. So while they are coming in, I'll bore you guys with a bit of yapping. This is to talk about the L&D function, and we got some wonderful results for L&D. So while we were just talking about it, it wouldn't really give justice to just talk to them or just give a slide, because there's a lot of work that has been done by the team, and it has been over the course of time, and we have upskilled our people, we have categorized people, and that has really helped us. So Okay, we are setting it up meanwhile. Anyone, any questions meanwhile they are setting it up? Don't want to waste anybody's time, otherwise people will tend to get bored and sleepy or go for a smoke or chai. It's last year. Yep. You have a question, sir? Okay.
Hello. Yeah,
Yes,
this,
sir. Go ahead.
Power BI and this Microsoft Copilot experience-wise is, earlier we used to say what you see is what you get. So all the Copilot analysis is only on the whatever is available on the screen. In case if you want to dig into, that is still not there actually.
It's not. But what happens is, sir, when you are actually looking at data with the 2,465 rows and a zillion columns, we have our limitations.
Yeah.
And color coding and whatever we do, we run pivots. It's not going to give us
Yeah.
that in accuracy. But when it comes to Copilot, you can actually give the range.
No,
So
I
you can
will,
give the range
I'll
like-
tell the lighter part of it. First time I was given to do testing of this particular thing, and we use this word, BHC, billable headcount, various acronyms are there, right? So we had put all the places BHC, and what Copilot understood is business health certificate. It gave me the answer, saying that it is business health certificate, count is so and, executive summary. It was little, I gave this feedback. I think our team has gone to Microsoft and they are actually going to work, and I've been last week updated that they are going to give a upgrade of that kind of a thing, where we can feed in certain things and, get it out. So I just wanted to share that, it's a risk that you carry, but known risk actually.
Yes, actually. So you're absolutely right. There were certain times while we were doing the spotlighting series, and we have an analysis called as breadcrumbs analysis that we used to do. The reason why we call it a breadcrumbs is because it is a crumbs of the bread that we are already eating as a business. So in that, what you're saying exactly has actually come across. Exact same thing that you said did really come across to us. But we have, of course, there are 2 reviews that happens. Exactly. But that will always happen. We would need people, otherwise it will be blank. Everything will be AI, and I hope we retired and then, but